Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Good. Check 1, 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Tony, can you go with that? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Tony, can you go with that? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Tony, can you go with that? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Tony, can you go with that? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Tony, can you go with that?
But today I'm here to just talk about what is the future of PAK, and for those who are new to PAK, PAK is an association that has photographers who are professionals, hobbyists, amateurs, and those who are in the business to photography. So basically today's session will cover just to have a look at what's the future of PAK, and before we get into the issues of what is the future, is why should you join PAK? I don't know if I can take it from a personal point of view, but for me, PAK has been an amazing platform to grow and also share experience with other people. And I know I'm joined with a couple of other photographers who are here with me today and can actually share their thoughts about PAK. And then from there, we can actually be able to break it down into what is the future, what is needed. Because the benefits of being in a community are too many. And sometimes we take it for granted and we can't really see the monetary value of being in a community. But then it just helps build up that particular space. The benefits of being in a community So just to, why should you join PAK? One of the benefits of joining PAK is you have a platform where you can have actually collective bargaining for particular issues or anything that happens within the photography society. There's aspects of capacity building that happens in PAK from different spaces, that is from individual photographers to groups. There's community impact, and the cost is not just monetary, it also costs your time, because if you're a member of a given society,
this meeting is being recorded.
The given space, you need to be able to contribute to that space. uh, you need to be in that space, and being in that space, it not only helps you uh, build your network, but also enables you to learn from others on how they do their work, how they do run the business aspects of photography, uh, how how they deal with legal issues, how they deal with copyright issues. So there's a lot of issues that come along when you're in that particular society. So I know I'm not supposed to talk about how the future will look like, but I'll leave it open to. I'm seeing I have like two photographers on the line with me here. There's Solomon Gary and Abdi, who can share the experience. Why PAK? Why did they join PAK, or what was their feeling about PAK, and how does it influence their work today and possibly in the future? So I don't know if Solomon is okay. You can actually say a word or two about the same, and you can head to Abdi.
Well, thanks, Tony. I don't want to say a lot about PAK because actually the reason I'm on this call today is the fact that I have been dilly-dallying in becoming a member, even when I know the value of PAK. But for the time that I've interacted with PAK through friends, number one, a great opportunity for mentorship. I have attended one or two sessions for training and so on. So very good mentorship, and I'm in contact with a number of photographers who are members of PAK, and of course benefited a great deal in terms of drawing from their expertise. So that's one of them. Number two, of course, as you correctly said, we're now confronted by a number of legal issues. Drones, just to pick on one, that people would, understanding some of the issues related to that. If something were to happen to you, how can you, be helped? And I see PAK as, a great opportunity where, people can be able to run to, be advised on some of those emerging issues. For example, those guys aspiring to move into the drone side of things, and I've been thinking of the same personally. And I know that Park is a place I can run to and be confident that I would get the support and the advice that I would need to. And finally, as you correctly said, a lot of us, me included, we are always looking for either opportunities to upgrade and so on. And yeah, I've been advised about the opportunity that exists in terms of either being able to find gear, from people that you can trust, and from an organization that is able to vet such, other than just hopping blindly into the open market. So just a few comments from me. But indeed, the reason I'm here is because I now want to seriously become a member, not just benefiting from outside of the box. Thank you.
Thank you, Solomon. We had Abdi, but he just dropped. So I understand probably it's network issues. I want just to echo what you said. It really helps. You can't really put a monetary value on the benefit you get at PAK. And sometimes I know that and in any association, there are those gaps and spaces that people have to occupy. But then the little that is there actually really helps, and that builds. But for those who are watching online, if you want to join PAK, there are different categories of membership, from individual membership to corporate to student membership. So if you're a student, you can really join PAK, and we have benefits that people don't really talk about or don't mention. And I feel having this particular space, I'll just be able to echo them. One is about the trainings, two is about the discounts in various associated partners with PAK. There's that sense of community belonging that exists in PAK. It may not be you in the whole community fitting in, but having those small groupings that you can easily relate to people to help you with your craft and your skill really builds up. And I think for me, that is the future for PAK. Like, find your own space within the association, find your own friends, find your own me and a friend call it a gang, and to help you grow your space. Because you won't be able to get everybody at the same time, but depending on whatever you need, the community helps you build that sense of belonging. I believe there's still
Recording in progress.
in terms of these constraints. We have photo challenges that have been happening over the years. And there's that continuous learning. And just to echo what Solomon has said, is that this mentorship that happens on a daily basis. If you are a PAK member, then we have a WhatsApp group that, trust me, it is as busy every single moment you open your WhatsApp. You'll find updates, you'll find news, you'll find new opportunities, you'll find others exploring other aspects of creativity, from being a DJ to other aspects. But that community is where is all that makes PAK a bit more special in growing the craft. I know that the other two people just joined me on the Zoom call on that particular end, and one of the things they're discussing is why PAK? Why should I join PAK? Why is PAK important? I know there's Boni Mdhoni. I don't know if you can feel free to unmute and talk about why PAK, why you're a member of PAK, what drives you to be part of PAK, and what is the future for PAK in the future. Sorry, I just ambushed you, but please just feel free to unmute and share your thoughts. And for those who are watching online, either on Facebook or YouTube, kindly feel free to drop in your questions regarding PAK, and we'll be able to either answer them, or we'll be able to address on how best you can go about with them. But most importantly is it's an association of amazing people, from professionals to hobbies to amateurs, and it's a place where you can actually learn. So if you've not joined, I would advise you to join. And also, in addition, is don't be shy to ask questions as much as possible. I know I want to keep on talking because I'm trying to see if you have any questions from any other space or online. Cool. Are there any questions from your MZP? Just as I wait for the questions, is that So PAK runs on subscriptions from members. And just for those who are new, is that membership, the standard PAK membership fee that is about 3,000 per year. Student fee is 500. Corporate is 15,000. And all this you can find on the website. And the website is www.pak.co.ke, where you can actually visit and feel free to join the membership. So what's the future of PAK? So for me, the future of PAK personally is where people are moving beyond just taking pictures and being in their own spaces, but joining in to collaborate on aspects that have a social impact. And apart from having that social impact, they have an economic aspect on it. And this is already happening amongst different photographers across the association. And that is a one way of the future to PAK. And apart from that is building up the speciality amongst membership of PAK, because not all photographers do the same type of photography. Photography is the general aspect, but there are different photographers who do different aspects, from wildlife photography to portrait photography to architecture or interior design photography to product photography. So these spaces need to now be redefined so that each and every person interested in this space can easily specialize and build up on this. And one other thing is photographers are moving more, or combining more of stills and also motion to tell the story. And that is something that is really working towards building that particular feature. So associations are there to stay, and PAK is standing in to help photographers build a particular space. But as any other association, it requires membership, and membership is what builds them. We can have membership amongst ourselves, but then an association is an institution where we have to keep it going in one or another. So that's my aspect about the future. And I don't know if among those who are on the call right now, what do you think about the future of PAK? I know Gary has mentioned that he's here to learn and actually join more about PAK, which is amazing. And then there are a couple of questions actually coming in, like from Agnes Kamau. As an international photographer, what benefits specifically do I get by joining? Another requirement is part of the annual fees. The benefits that you gain mostly is you can actually be able to now identify individuals you can actually work with in a particular space. If you are an international photographer and you have a team, you can easily get that team or individual specialties within that particular society, because that's the reason why that sense of belonging is important in being in a society. And most international photographers most of them are usually in a specific association that either drives their work in one or another. So just apart from the annual fees requirement, there's also just your ID, and definitely you can be able to share your work. Once you share your work with the team and the members, you're able to now get more questions and you can able to inspire other people. So benefits are one way, are very simple in terms of the ones I actually mentioned earlier, from being in a community, having a sense of belonging, discounted in different aspects of equipment within the country. You can able to access equipment. If you need a lens, if you need a camera, you can easily get them through that particular space, because each and every person is able now to either lend you, hire, or even be part of that particular space. But for Agnes, what I'll actually recommend is join the society to not only get benefits from it, but also to inspire other photographers within a particular space, because you have something to bring in. You have something to bring in, and it actually builds that momentum. So I hope that answers your question. But basically, the most important thing for being in a society is that sense of belonging and a community. And apart from having that sense of belonging community, it inspires you to continuously push to build your business beyond just creating images, but also learning from how to make that business last and move forward from one point to another. Oh, sorry, intermediate photographer. I didn't seem to get that. So basically, it just helps you look at other people's work and then build this up. I don't know if that answers the question, Agnes, but yeah, but feel free to reach out to PAK through the social media address, and they're able to help you build up on the best ways to get the best out of PAK. And in PAK we have the card that allows you to access different aspects of society in one or another. So it basically helps in one form or the other. So membership is very, very key in all aspects. So I'm trying to see if there's anybody who has a question or a comment. But the key important thing is the future of PAK depends on us as members. And it's us members to be able to either feed PAK to stand on its own, because it was formed way before, and for me personally, I benefited from it in various aspects, learning from others, looking at other people's portfolio, seeing how best I can able to survive to turn what my passion was into a business. So yeah, I know I'm talking too much, but I think I need to let if anybody here feels like they want to share their experiences, please feel free. I see Lumos is here. Bonia just mentioned that he's not in a great place to talk. Okay.
Hi, Tony.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah, we were trying to see what's the future for PAK. What do you think?
Good question. I think what you've shared, Tony. Sorry, I've joined in late. Is I agree with you. I think what we need to demystify is the element that once someone, I think to approach PAK from a point at which we look at it from what benefits will accrue to me as a member if I join. It has to be cultured. What do I mean? You have to look at it from a point of we are diverse in terms of the makeup. There are people who are beginners, there are people who are students, there are people who are at the intermediate level, there are people who are advanced, and we all cannot get the same benefit across from an association. An association means it's the person you can reach. So I think for me, the best benefit I get off the PK is the relationship I have across with fellow photographers. We either have assignments together, either you need to leverage and get access to information or know-how on how to access particular aspects. So for me, that's how I've been able to benefit. And if I was to break this down further, it's like if you have a big gig, because coming to the events, you have a big gig whereby you're running off an event that has live streaming, has photography, has videography, has various segments of what you get. Then you can be able to borrow from the people either who have more experience than you do, or the synergy that you can create by working as a larger team who have the same, either taken through the same processes. That's what I have to say about this conversation.
Thank you, Dumas. I really totally agree with you on those particular comments. I'd go straight back to the question section. Is Agnes she's asking about mentorship. So mentorship can basically come in different forms. There is mentorship in terms of through our partner trainings, that is the partners. The other mentorship you can get is within the particular grouping. You can identify that particular person you resonate with and you admire their work and reach out to them, and they'll be able to help you build that particular scenario of whatever you want to build. Personally, I asked one photographer when I was starting off, and the photographer was doing PAK, and I learned a particular skill set through him. When I saw one of his images posted on one of the groups, and I was like, how exactly do you edit this particular image? And when he mentioned about using curves and all this Lightroom stuff, at that time I had no idea what all that was. But when he explained it to me, it became easier. I'd never met him before, but through the membership, I will now to meet them. So that's one particular mentorship on one specific aspect of it. The other sorts of membership we have is PAK organizing such sessions. Like for this particular week, we have a lot of events coming up. We have a lot of sessions coming up in the course of this week. I'll just mention a few for Agnes, who's online. So within that particular platform, you've been able to reach out and learn more about photography. So I'm going to get the program for the whole week. As the program loads, that is one aspect of the mentorship aspect. Just to answer your question, as the other section loads, is that apart from the annual fees, what is required? Apart from the annual fees, what is actually required is your ID card, and that's it. And then you will be registered, and then you'll get a card that you can actually use to identify yourself as a member of the PAK. And members who actually here can testify that card really helps. I know sometimes we have a session of photographers who feel it can do more, but then we just have to accept that it works at a particular point, and a particular point it does not work. And those are the major aspects. It's like having an ID. You can have an ID within your country, but the moment you leave out of the country with that ID, it would really serve you better as a passport. So we just have to be honest when it comes to about using the ID, the PAK card and everything else. I know so many people have conflicting issues about that particular card, but I think we have to accept that the card really helps in one or another that fit your specific need at a particular moment. So just to go through the program, just to answer Agnes' question, is that there are sessions that will be going on tomorrow, and I'll just mention a few. Shooting for composites by Rags or Michael Murini. So you'll be able to learn more about how he does his stuff. There'll be a whole talk about wedding photography done by William Turi, Opaka Felix, and Brenda Mlama. So if you're interested in wedding photography, you'll be able now to pick that and able to build that. And we'll still have this conversation about what's the way forward for PAK, what's the state, what's the future, because we need to continue not only helping other young photographers come up, but also giving them a space where they feel comfortable enough to be able to share with us their skill set. I'll be covering a session on nature and conservation photography on Wednesday from 9 to 10:30. And then Kevin Ouma will be covering documentary photography and storytelling. Evan Soget will be covering wildlife photography and nature photography. And then just a prior chat on about COVID, because COVID has affected all of us. So that will be moderated by Georgia Dulu. And then on Thursday, we'll have aspects of editing and retouching by Nyadimo. And then we'll have Paul covering commercial photography and product photography. So if these are things you're interested with, head down and actually have a look at them, their work as individuals and see what they do, because you'll have now a session to ask them particular questions. This is just one aspect of why we have membership such as PAK to help in mentorship aspects. And just I think the last day we have opportunities for stock photography. So there's picture stock, there's picture duka where you can actually sell the stocks. And then we'll have Boniface Mwangi talking about shooting for a course, because just being a photography is a tool for you to be able to either empower yourself economically, work on social aspects or influence social aspects, or influence political spaces. And that is something that Boniface Mwangi will be covering in his next sessions. And then building it up, as I mentioned earlier, that photographers are now moving towards building that aspect of using video content to promote their work. So that will be covered by Rico Warui on Friday, the 7th of August. And what really matters for us is that all of us need to get something at the end of the day, and finances play a critical role. So on Saturday, we'll cover finances for photographers and how you can able to do that. And your camera is like your vehicle. We all know how exactly expensive these equipments are. And how them being expensive, we need to be able to maintain them. So we have a session on how to actually maintain your camera and other equipment that we run by Gishupi Samuel. So just to answer Agnes Kamau's question, is that these are the different mentorship aspects you can actually get to build you up in different aspects. So just the other question that come in is, has Pak considered ever considering a certification system, same way of wildlife guides have bronze, silver, etc. Is it feasible in the field or not just a thought? I don't know. We have James, who's at the call. I don't know if you can able to share more about that. Do you think PAK can go to a system of certification? For instance, in the Wildlife Guiding Society, they have different categories. We have bronze, we have silver guides, we have gold guides. So is it feasible? Is it feasible for the membership? James?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, James.
Okay. Well, I think it's all about membership, because if we are to certify different categories of membership into different levels of professionalism, that is, say, silver, bronze, or what have you, I think we need to future goals we have as the sitting committee of PAK, such that the more we increase our members, You can even have badges where you can put them on member websites, so that whenever a client goes to a photographer's website, we are able to see that this is a silver member of PK, or these are bronze member of PK, or these are gold member of PK. So it is something that you've thought about, although we'd need to have more members, and we need to have people showing us their work, people preparing their portfolios, people telling us which clients they have been able to serve or what contracts they've been able to get. Then from there, we in the committee can be able to go through all those submissions, and from there, then we can be able to decide on a system that can fairly put people in those different levels. That's all I can say.
Thank you, James, for sharing that. And uh, for me, just to echo what James is saying, this is something that is possible and can actually be done. I'm not just in one membership organization for photographers. I'm like 3 of them at the moment, and there are those that I am in a different level. They're like 3 tires, and I'm a different level. Before I get to that level, I should have been, example, I've shot for like 3 or 4 years to be able to be an associate fellow, and probably another 10 years to be part of the senior fellow. So it's something that is possible within PAK. But for me, what allows for PAK is that we'll have to start breaking it into genres first, and then now people know to fine tune them in the future. So that's something that is something that can actually happen. I don't know if there's any other question online or on the chat. Zippy? So there are no questions at the moment. We are at 9:30. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts that he would want to share about the future of PAK. I know we are talking about the future of PAK. We need to look at also diversity in terms of men and women and all the other aspects. Young people, different ages. We need to figure out all that, and PAK needs to, for me personally, we really need to move out and reach out to do like a huge membership drive where we can get as many other photographers to join the society, young, amateur, professionals, hobbyists, and not only just offer and think of other ways to actually build up on the benefits. Yeah. So if any other person has any comments? Okay. So just to mention, just to mention that if you go to the website, there are the listings, and these listings are called of suppliers who you can reach out to get different aspects. And I think I'll just mention a few on the website. We have Snapshot Kenya, we have Luminate Camera Store, we have Cameras Kenya, we have High Definition Holdings Limited, we have Rubies, we have ViewTime Limited for gear, we have Purple Apple for gear, we have Blue Bag Limited for, I think, probably gear again. So, and these are members for PAK, and you can be able to get listing on whatever they do. So unless there is any other question, I hope you guys were able to pick one or two. It's amazing to actually just host you guys. I know I've been doing most of the talking, but I wish more people can actually come through. I'm being told to wait. So there's a question coming in. But the most important thing is that PAK cannot be an association without people. And it's not just about people. It's about people putting their time to help build that society. Because that society is the one that actually builds you again in one or another. So there's Wairimu Kibuka, who's interested in joining PAK. I'm a new wildlife photographer. So joining PAK is very, very simple. What you need is just send your details. There's an application. You need to submit a copy of your ID and a clear passport photo via info@pak.co.ke and the application process. And then you'll be able to pay via M-Pesa or pay the cash deposit to NIC Bank. And so standard PAK membership is 3,000 per year, and student membership is 500. So if you're a student, you need to show your student ID, and you need to be the age of 18 to 26 years. I know some of us can be master's students or PhD students, so you need to show your ID is between 18 to 26 years for you to get the membership. And if you're a corporate, you have a subscription fee of 15,000 shillings per year. So that is how you get into PAK. Then in PAK, you're able to now identify different wildlife photographers who are within the space, and you're able to learn one or two from them and be able to at least pick up more. But then being in that space just helps you identify that you don't need to learn only on wildlife photographers. You can also learn from other people who are doing weddings, product shoots, composite photography, and many other types of photography. And you can easily apply them back to wildlife in one or another. So, yep. So I think that's it, unless there's any other question. Good. So thank you guys for joining this year's Kenya Photo Week. It's unfortunately we can't do it in person. The first one I attended in person was amazing, and I learned a lot. But we try and make the new state of living more interesting by having such sessions. Thank you, Solomon, for contributing. Thank you, Bonnie, for coming in. Thank you, James, for assisting and actually commenting on one of the aspects. Thank you, Zippy, for just dealing with the technical bit of it, the sound, and making sure this happened. It's really appreciated. With all that said, I'll say thank you, guys, and have a nice, or have a good night. Oh, by the way, I thought nice day. Have a good night. So from me, bye.
Thanks, Tony.
Bye, Solomon. And for those watching online, here kwaherini. And thank you guys for watching. Thanks.